All should be in the top 1% earners in the country. That's $823,000 a year.
$823,000 a year.
Yeah, $823,000 a year. That should be your first target. If you're a waiter or waitress, I know people in every space.
It's a lot of money.
Let me see how much money it really is. $823,000 a year divided by 12. See, everybody goes to think about what they can do now, but it's not about what, it's about who.
Okay.
Okay, divided by 12, $68,000 a month, divided by, we know that much money is available on the planet, right?
Sure.
Okay, divided by, what is that, 30 days, divided by 24 hours, divided by 60. It's $1.58 a minute.
$1.56.
$1.58 a minute.
$1.58 a minute. Okay.
So I'm going to do the math. It's called the math way.
Yep.
Not the pathway. The math way is the pathway. I need to make $1.58 a minute, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
So that's 823,000 roughly.
Yeah. So that basically says, I got to automate my time. I got to automate. I got to make money while I sleep. This is what we should have been taught in school, man. This is what we should have been taught as kids. Like, how do I do money? You do it with time. Okay. You don't do it with a job. You're not going to get $823,000 a year at a job. There's no job that's going to hire you and pay you $823 without you having to go back to college and spend time and invest money. Just doesn't work like that. So I'm like, okay, where can I get $1.58
a minute?
A minute. Or how could I get 823,000 people to give me $1? That's the other way to do it. So what I'm going to do is do a bunch of different math ways. I'm going to do like maybe 12 or 15 different ways to get this much money. Notice I'm following the money right now. I am not doing anything.
Not thinking about
what
how,
do people need? What do people need? What do people want? What's the product? What's the service? What's the idea? What am I passionate about? Dude, I'm just tracking money down. I'm hunting money. I'm hunting a number.
I don't want money. I don't want any money. I want assets. Yeah. So I'm trying to convert this to an asset, but I also need to be diligent to not just waste it. So I'm trying to find assets. I want to collect assets, not cash. I don't want a savings account. I don't want a retirement account. I want assets to pay me. I don't want houses. Houses don't pay me. I want stuff that pays me.
So what's the best asset for someone that doesn't want to be average?
Well, the best asset is you.
Okay.
There's no better asset for him, for you, for your average listener, which, by the way, I don't think you guys are average.
We don't talk to the average anymore.
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Okay.
We've only got extraordinary listeners now.
You guys are all extraordinary. No matter what I read or consume or learn, dude, nobody can rob it from me. You can't take it from me. Once I learn something, nobody can steal it. The government, the queen or the king can't tax it. That's the single best investment, as long as you keep doing it. And the second one is going to be your business. If you have your own business or you have a trade or you have something you do well, an occupation, a skill, that's the next best thing. The third thing, the thing that you don't have to trade time and money for, is some asset that will pay you a drip. Drip. It's giving you a drip, some drip of money. Like, you don't want your faucets to drip, but you want your money to drip on you. And so for me, that is a real estate asset. Like we buy Cardone Capital. We got a bunch of English people, by the way. Aren't y'all called English?
Yeah. British English.
Bunch of British English people that invest with us here in America at Cardone Capital. I'm in and out in 14 days because I made 3 days of phone calls that were brutal. Hey, I'm coming to San Antonio, man. Will you give me 5 minutes? This is before anybody knew who I was, right? No books, no kind of notoriety. So they're like, no, don't come by. But see, that was interest. To me, that's interest. No, I'm not interested. Not interested.
So not interested to you is interest.
Well, it is. It says not interested. Not is an adjective to describe interest.
Okay.
Right? So it's a level of interest.
So if someone says they're not interested,
on a scale from 0 to 10, what interest level do you have? None. That is a level.
Right.
Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You with me? A few minutes ago, he didn't know he had no interest. At least I'm on it. You see what I'm saying?
I wanted to ask you about that, man, because I've noticed over the last few years, you got in way better shape.
Yeah, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I something I've noticed from afar. It's like, how has that affected your business, actually? Have you made more money as a result?
Well, it makes me feel better about myself, right?
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at yourself and you're, 10 or 15 pounds overweight or more, you don't feel good about yourself. Your body hurts. You look in the mirror, the mirror don't lie.
Yeah.
And so,
And at my age, what was happening was I was being forced to do it because my body started hurting. I wasn't using my body, so it starts screaming at me.
Yeah.
Hey man, you ignoring me, bro.
Yeah.
Knees, ankles, lower back, everything was hurting. And I'm like, I got to start doing something about this. So there's no shots you can take to fix that.
Yeah.
You have to go do the work.
You got to.
And so I try to get in the gym 7 days a week.
Nice.
I get something in. I don't do a lot. I don't do heavy stuff the way you do. But I do the light stuff, just keep everything moving.
No, but I see the results,
Yeah,
over the years.
And it makes me feel better about myself.
It seems like
Does it make me more money? I don't know if it does or not,
Yeah.
It
doesn't make you less.
No, it doesn't cost me. It doesn't cost me anything. That's for sure.
And you're gonna get more years.
I hope so.
You know what I think about it, man? This may be crazy. I think, okay, the better shape I am, the longer I live, the more the money can compound.
Yeah.
I think about that from that perspective.
There's no success without volume.
Okay.
So anybody that's trying to come up with the thing is trying to get away from the work.
Right.
And so there's no trick in this game. Like if a person wants to be really successful in sales, real estate, acting, you need a lot of hits.
Right.
Right. So like I think everybody's looking for that one thing that gets that in the door and gets that one sale, as opposed to as opposed to, dude, how do I keep calling on the whole neighborhood?
Right.
How do I keep working that neighborhood and then the next neighborhood, and then how do I come back? Because one thing the cold call people do that incorrectly is they canvas cold a neighborhood and they never go back to that neighborhood. But watch, I do. I go back in. So I'm basically following you up.
Okay.
Okay. It's somebody once said, hey, somebody else blows up the tire. They blow up the tires and I ride the bike. They get them ready.
Okay.
So that neighbor, that person, that phone call, that door is going to be knocked on again by someone.
Okay.
Now, the fact that most people are just not going to go back and hit on it. But the
What about time management issue? What's the time management in terms of new doors versus old doors?
I don't know. The gold is in the follow-up.
Okay, so in other words, you don't have a distinction, because it's a good question, don't you think? Though, like, when do you know?
Not really. I think it's a bad question.
You think it's a bad question?
I think it's not the right question. I think it's
know when to not to follow.
I think the young salesperson should be taught, hey, look, there's no trick, dude. There's no freaking sweet spot of this game. The sweet spot, if there is a sweet spot, it is about creating tremendous volumes of activity, having lots of people to talk to.
So hitting lots and lots of doors.
Or taking lots of phone calls.
Or hitting doors, or whether it's call the phone, or doors, right?
Sweet spot,
numbers game, you think?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
But if they know me, rather than me knowing them, if they already know me, then my leverage goes up probably 10x.
Okay. Can you explain that?
Hey, I know you. I saw you in the paper. I saw you on you get that because people, know about the movie, right? So you immediately have some altitude or lift.
Right.
Because people know you. It's not who I know, it's who knows me.
I had been 20 years of working my butt off, man, saving money, doing all the right things. I call it playing by the house rules. Saving my money, planning for retirement, you had a retirement account, everything they tell you to do, paying off your debt and everything. And then when that thing happened, bro, it was like they just came in and started taking everything from me. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't do anything wrong here. Like your dad, like he was victimized by this thing that they do every 10 or 12 years.
Yeah.
And so when that happened, I was like, the next time this happens, because I couldn't do anything. Because when recessions happen, it provides tremendous opportunities. But I didn't have the courage to do it, and the reason I didn't have the courage is because I didn't have the strategy. I didn't know what to do. And when you don't know what to do, bro, you're like,
yeah, you just out.
There's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
So, and this is how most people live every day, unfortunately.
Right.
And so I told my wife in 2008. That's 14 years ago, or 12 years ago, whatever the number is.
Yeah.
And I said, man, next time this happens, I'm gonna be ready.
Yeah.
This time I'm ready. People are going to lose their jobs. That's going to happen. Could be the greatest thing that ever happens to you, by the way. Yeah. I lost my job, man. I lost a job when I was 29 years old. Best thing that ever happened to me. And I was freaking devastated.
Yeah. But it set you on a course that
I had to go do something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to do, I wanted to quit the job, true. Right. I've been wanting to quit the job for a long time. And a guy one day just out of nowhere said, hey, mind your own business. I got pissed off. I left. I don't know if I quit or he fired me. But that became the start of me becoming my own person.
You guys shouldn't have a savings account. That's why you're average. You're victims. You're being victimized by a banking institution that is built around an educational system that supports a government that's fucking you.
So they need to put that money to work. Where are the best places to put it to work?
There's no reason to have 90 days of savings. It's completely ridiculous. This was for banks. Buying houses was for banks. 401ks were for banks. IRAs are for banks. Retirement accounts are for banks. Saving money is for banks. All this is bullshit for the banks. Okay? They do not even do what they tell you guys to do. What they do is you put your money, I don't have any money on me right now, but I did. Don't worry about it. So you take your garbage paper, pounds or US dollars that are going down in value. You trade time to get some money, and then you take the money to the bank and say, please take care of my money, Mr. Banker. He's like, yeah, I sure will. You know what they do? Within a microsecond, they send the money out. They call me up. Hey, Cardone, you want to borrow some of this money? Yeah, sure. Like to use their money. So people are already investing with me. The people that don't take my advice actually are funding my projects because they save money.
Everybody that set their sights on you would be thinking too small.
They'd be thinking too small.
100%. They should have gone to, I want to be Oprah, you know, but they said, I can be Lewis. Okay. Lewis is achievable for me. You pick the fruit off the tree you can see. You know, we for whatever reason, my regret is that I didn't say, bro, I'm going to go to the top of the tree. In fact, I'm going to own the whole orchard.
Wow.
Or even the entire forest, you know, and I'm going to really make a difference. I'm going to be that Rockefeller, JP Morgan. I'm going to be legacy, 300, 400 years of dynasty kind of legacy thinking. That's the biggest regret of my life.
Really?
Yeah, because I know I could have done it.
A lot of times I hear people tell me, man, money's not everything. Money's not everything, man. Like I kind of know what you're going to say, but I want to hear you.
Yeah, it's not everything. 100% is not everything, but it buys everything.
Exactly.
There's nothing it doesn't buy.
Come on.
Even health.
Come on.
You want better health?
Yeah.
Takes money.
Magic Johnson would be dead if he wasn't a big.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So you guys that you know, I don't. First of all, I don't even know why you go. Money ain't everything. You don't even have enough money to give advice on money.
Yeah, man.
I think you are shut your damn trap right now. You don't have any money. If you don't have any money, quit talking about it.
Yeah. Money.
Just start walking around talking about how you don't have any money.
Yeah.
And what do you want to do about it? Don't tell me that money isn't everything. I know that money isn't everything. It's the only thing that buys a jet.
Come on, man.
It's the only thing that pays for my kids' clothes.
Let's go.
It's the only thing that'll take care of, put us on a trip if we want to go someplace.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that buys advertising on Google or Facebook. They don't take freaking biceps.
Yeah, yeah. My son can't eat happiness.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You know.
Exactly. Everybody's like, oh, money won't make you happy. I'm not looking for happy.
Yeah.
I'm looking for some money right now so I can create some wealth, so I can own some property. So one day I don't have to work so much because money's coming in because of the assets I own. And then I can go worry about being happy.
And you know, you need to get around people that have stuff that you don't have and that have done stuff you haven't done. And have dreams. You need to get around people that have inflated dreams and dreams that your neighborhood can't think with and your community doesn't even, like, you're like, I want to get a boat. Okay, well, you before you decide on a boat, you might want to go see somebody who's got a 300-foot yacht because it might change the things that you're thinking about. And before you say, hey, I want to buy a Lamborghini, you should go visit a Lamborghini car dealer and talk to him about owning a Lamborghini dealership rather than owning a Lamborghini. So, like, because I believe that anybody can do this stuff.
I agree.
I think it starts with the think. We're limited in our thinking because we're middle class. Most of us are brought up poor middle class, and we're limited by the examples that we're raised by. This is a problem too because we take advice from everyone. That's a big mistake that I made as a young man. I would take advice from anyone. Like, I was so hungry. And I think this is more your audience than the lazy person. I know we put a lot of attention on people that don't follow up, but I think a bigger problem is you guys take advice from everybody. You watch their clip, you take their advice, and then you go listen to Dave Ramsey, and then you move to Boo Boo, and then you go over here to Jim. And by the time you're done, the reason you don't do anything, I actually don't believe in laziness. I believe laziness is caused because of confusion. People don't do anything because they're go left, go right, go straight. At that point, I'm like, the best thing to do is stop because I don't know where I'm going. So that's why I tell you, man, the thing that's really helped me is I'll take one guy and study his entire life. And I could study that life for years, maybe 2 years or 3 years, one person, and never take any other content in.
On the money game, it should have never been 10x, dude.
Well, it should have been 100.
I always said it should have been 100x, but I did 10x because people couldn't think with it.
Yeah.
So, but really, you know, I was thinking too small back then.
Really?
I'm still thinking too small. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you.
You're thinking bigger than back then.
Oh yeah, 100. But
Like
it's
you feel
still,
like
I'm still thinking too small, right?
But
So
but I'm also curious, like, if you overthink, let's say I'm 1,000x right now,
Yeah.
and you're not prepared for that type of wealth or pressure or experience or opportunity, then is that too big, too fast?
no, you should still think bigger, because you're not going to know thinking smaller, right? You're not going to know. You're never going to get there. Right. I mean, look, the guy thinks too small and he wins a $1 billion lottery ticket, and he got lucky. He's got problems too. He's just got new problems. He doesn't know what to do with the money.
Right.
So if I would have thought bigger, I don't have the problem of not taking action. Okay. So I'm not that guy. I'm not, you got to deal with whatever you got. Right. But I know this, if I thought smaller, I would have taken fewer actions. When you start thinking really big, you have to, if you're going to go get this thing, if you're serious about whatever that thing is. I thought here because I was thinking, oh yeah, that's achievable. But how can a child, a 3-year-old, think that they can pick up 100 pounds or ride a big horse? Well, they can't. It's like not achievable until daddy picks him up, puts him on it, and he's like, oh, I can ride a horse. You know, I can ride it. But when he's looking up, he's like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Right? So when you're looking you don't have anything and you're just hungry, it's hard to dream, man.
Yeah.
Because your stomach's saying, pay attention to me. Or pay attention to my kids, or shoes, or whatever your crunchy. Oh, inflation, cost of bananas. This is a fear cycle, man. This is like it's them marketing fear to us to stay small, so we become consumers, not doers.
So your dad gives us each a quarter.
Yeah.
This is 1963, maybe 1964. John Kennedy's probably president. Gives us a quarter, dude, and you would think that me and Gary would like ballers, straight up shot callers, okay? Like, man, you got a quarter, dude. Like, I'm starting to think about what am I going to buy with this? Because this is when you could buy some shit with the quarter. I mean, you could buy gum, some lifesavers. This is before the big gummy lifesavers that they got today.
The bubble gum, the baseball gum,
it
cost
was
a penny.
Giant.
They cost a penny.
It was a penny, but they were freaking like 10 times the size.
That's right.
And so I'm going over there, man. I'm flipping my coin, playing with my coin, and bang, my coin falls into this gutter. Big manhole. This is the old manholes they'd have like a 12-inch space between the grates where your ankle could actually fall through it. Like, these were not safe to walk on, okay? And so I could put my whole arm down there, but I can't reach the quarter. I am losing my mind.
You're gutted, dude.
I'm gutted. I'm crying. Oh my God, I lost my quarter. I'm not really, the one thing is I'm not going to be able to buy anything, but the second thing is I got to tell my dad I lost a quarter, bro. And like, I know this comes with a physical punishment.
Oh, you think he's going to hit you?
100%.
For losing a quarter?
I know for
You
sure.
think this?
I'm going to get my ass whooped because he's going to teach me a lesson. I go home, I'm crying. What's wrong? I'm like, I lost the quarter. How'd you lose the quarter? And he's standing over me. How'd you lose? And Dr. Care's there. So now I got to be publicly humiliated. My dad didn't know any better. He thought he was teaching me something, right? And he was. Grandpa was there. Tony Neal was there.
Tony Neal.
So Tony Neal
What
was
a
a completely
naughty,
different
naughty
person.
boy.
Other end of the spectrum. He's like, he either has $5,000 on him or he's broke.
Yeah.
And so my dad stands over me, probably trying to impress the other people in the room, and says, never play with money. Never play with money, man. I was like, oh my God, man. Never play with money. And I was like, okay. And this really damaged me for years with money.
Yeah.
Grandpa Tony grabs me maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes later in the kitchen and says, look, your dad said never play with money. There can be value to that. Or The other part of the lesson could be never go any place with just one quarter.
Bingo. I like that one.
I know you would, because
Yeah,
that's
I
how you
love
live,
that,
dude.
dude.
You live like that. But those two things, that story has like haunted me for 50 years trying to figure out, okay, is it save money, protect it, not play with it? Or is it accumulate so many that you can actually lose some?
When did you start selling?
When I had to.
So what was the
I started
what was your
selling when
first
I had-
what was your first job? Like a
It
formal
was
job.
was it a clothing store?
How
I
old?
was paid 6% on a $12 tie. I was 16 years old.
Okay.
So I'd make whatever that is, 6% at $12. I mean, I'd
Okay,
make
$7.20.
No, 72
72
cents.
Yeah, 72 cents. Yeah.
Yeah, I hated
Okay.
that job.
And how'd you do it? Were you good at it though?
No, I was terrible.
You weren't good at it.
I was terrible.
And
It was
we-
awful. The only time I was good at sales was when there was urgency on my part. Like I had to sell it. Like I sold furniture, I was terrible. I got fired. I sold clothes. I was fired from that job. And there was one other job. I think it was a refinery job. I lost that job. I lost 6 jobs. But the only time that I ever sold anything successfully was a bunch of fish that we had caught, redfish, red snappers. They caught hundreds and hundreds of them. And I was
You caught yourself.
I was on a supply boat
Okay.
out in New Orleans, Louisiana, off the coast. I was doing 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, and I was helping the cook. That was my job, right? It was a labor. It was a total labor boat. 3 of us on the boat. We'd bring supplies out to the oil rigs. I've never told this story, and one day we dropped lines over the boat in about 120 foot of water, and we would drop lines, and it would have 120 foot line, not a fishing pole, a line.
Right.
A rope, dude, with like 80 hooks on it. And you just wait. You sit and wait and
Right.
do nothing. And then you go over there and you pull up 60 fish. Every line had 60 fish.
Really?
So like
Where was this though?
this is south of New Orleans.
Okay.
So we catch, I don't know, 300 or 400 fish. We couldn't even keep them all.
Right.
Snapper about this big. So I tell the guys, I'm like, hey guys, can I have your fish? I mean, we can't eat it all. So we put it on ice. And on the way home, when we came in like 8 days later, I stopped door to door. This is how I started my career. Door to door, I was selling fish.
To homes. To restaurants.
To businesses.
God, okay, to
To State Farm agents. Hey guys, I got some fish.
right.
It's fresh as shit right here.
You
right?
know, I did the same job, by the way, but with boxes of frozen steak and meat. And fish.
Well, I didn't have enough ice. I didn't plan or I didn't know
Right.
what I was doing. So the fish was going bad.
Got it.
And I'm like, I have to sell this shit.
Right.
Otherwise, it's going to go
So
bad.
what was your rap? What was your pitch back then?
Hey guys, I got fish. I got fish. That was my fucking.
I'll
stick.
give you really good
That-
prices. They're
there's
about
my
to.
straight
If I don't
line
sell them now, they're going to go
persuasion.
bad.
I got fish. I just caught them. You want them? And that's how I still sell today. By the way,
Okay.
like there's no, it's very direct to the point. Find out if you're interested, and then I move on. I was at a dinner in the Hamptons. There was 52 billionaires in the room. I was the poorest person in the room.
How did that feel though?
It felt inspiring. I'm like, fuck, god damn, the possibility. I don't have envy. I don't have any envy. Like I don't have it. It is to me one of the most destructive things that people have is envy. I don't have that. Like, do I have a chip on my shoulder? Yeah. Do I want to be those guys? No, I don't want to be them. I want to be me. And they show me the possibility.
Do you think that's rare though? And how does someone get over that? Because most people want people to like them and they are envious
It
of
doesn't
others.
work. It doesn't work. You like just study the most successful people. They're like, I don't care if you like me or not. I like me. I have to like me. I have to know the truth for me. I got to know what my path is. I know what my goals and dreams are. The teacher in the classroom doesn't. Oh, you're thinking too big. My mom, I wanted to start a real estate business when I was 31 years old. Called my mom up. She's my best friend. I said, Mom, I'm going to start a real estate business. You don't want to do that, son. That's going to be a bunch of problems. That was $4 billion she would almost talk me out of. I'm like, oh, you crazy? What's wrong with you? Stay in your lane, mama. Love me, support me, feed me. You make great apple pie. Do not give me financial advice.